Welcome back to the Morning Beat. AJ and Mikalah here. Now, we're really excited about this next guest, these two next guests, actually. Mikalah made this happen. I guess she just knows people. I don't know how you made it happen.
I don't even, you get the celebrities and I just get these viral people.
Listen,
I don't know how this happened.
I don't need to know. All I need you guys to know is that we're really excited about this. From the hit Netflix series, docuseries Tiger King, which just released an 8th episode this weekend, we have Jeff and Lauren Lowe on the line. Thank you so much for being here, first and foremost. How did you guys first meet Joe Exotic?
I met Joe in 2015, and he was well under investigation before I ever met him. He's been threatening to kill Carole Baskin for, I don't know, maybe since 2011, and it just kind of escalated after we got here. So I see people's belief that I kind of would have led him down that path, but it couldn't be any further from the truth, because Lauren and I were living in a 12,000 square foot house with a 60,000 gallon pool. We were having our parties and our fun and our exotic cars, and a zoo right down the road from us that we wanted to purchase. And Joe Exotic found out about me and my wealth. He wanted to make me his next con job. So he convinced me to fly him out to Colorado. I did. I put the bill for his ticket for him and his husband. I took him skydiving. I took him anywhere they wanted to go to sightsee. And it was on the way back to the airport that Joe asked if he could buy me a steak at the steakhouse. And that was when he pulls out his phone. He starts showing me pictures of his face all swelled up. He had some medical condition. He told me that he was HIV positive. He would be dead within 2 years. And he was actually asking me at the dinner to come help bail his zoo out of trouble and stay on to continue his work after he died. So it was kind of, he came seeking me. I didn't seek him, and I never wanted to live in the middle of Oklahoma with
in the middle of nowhere.
Trust me, I've been. I get it.
Yeah, you saw our lifestyle and our Vegas lifestyle, and that does not exist here. This is not where we ever envisioned ourselves living.
Did he ever offer you any sort of proof that he was actually indeed HIV positive, or you just kind of took his word on it?
Well, you know what? His husband died of AIDS.
His first husband.
His first husband died of AIDS. So it was kind of a no-brainer to us that, and these pictures, I'll have to tell you, well, now we find out that they were pictures of his face after a facelift.
Yeah.
They were not, it was not a medical condition.
Wait, he had a facelift?
Oh, he had two.
He had two, and he took them.
Well, honey, you can't fault him for that. I mean, we love facelifts here.
Well, here's what we can fault him for, is that he actually stole the money from the animals for the facelift.
Ooh.
He created a fake nonprofit called the USZA, the United States Zoological Association. He self-accredited himself because without accreditation, no one really, wants to visit your park. So he created his own entity. He accredited himself. Started receiving donations into it, and then we're using the donations for his plastic surgery, his nose jobs,
and for his boys,
facelifts, and to buy toys for his new boyfriend.
Well, I want to talk to you guys. We're talking a lot about Joe Exotic, of course, but how do you guys feel that you were portrayed on the show? Lauren, you're beautiful. You guys talked a lot about parties and even having sort of an open relationship. How was that sort of how your life was? Do you feel like they did a good job showing you?
Well, they misled us completely on what the story was supposed to be about. They told us it was supposed to be about Carole. No doubt, we had fun in Vegas, and if we invited girls, we invited girls. But that's our personal business to begin with. But Netflix portrayed us more different than we were assuming they were going to. You want to jump in on this one? Because I'm just like...
Well, because Joe...
We have had... Go ahead.
No, because I was just going to say, like, Jeff, you have a beautiful wife, and they were trying to make you look like a womanizer, really.
Well, they put words in my mouth. They took, like, for instance, the comment about the gym. Lauren has been begging. When she came to me and said she was pregnant, and I said, well, how are we going to do this? How are we going to build a zoo and raise a baby and do all these things that I've been there and I've done that. I had 3 great kids, but they're grown. So Lauren had a saying joke. She had to have a nanny because she wanted to get back to the gym, take care of her animals, get back to the gym.
And work.
So I bet you there's probably 10 hours of footage of Lauren talking about getting back to the gym. So when the producers had me in the office that day, and we were looking for an au pair. We had 5 au pairs selected. We were going to hire 2. So we had a full-time au pair here at the park. And we had narrowed it down to the 5 people. The producers said, Jeff, show me the au pairs. And they pieced together a lot of it to say, where I said, we're getting an au pair so Lauren can get back to the gym. So that's, I think I had to repeat that 6 times for him to catch it properly. And, the other comment that they made outside, I won't say it on air because it was, they told us what to say. They fed us all of the lines that they wanted us to say.
Well, hold on. Now, speaking of feeding people to the lions, brings me my next question.
Yeah, so we definitely want to ask you the question everybody wants to ask, and that is, of course, did Carole Baskin, in your opinion, feed her ex-husband to the lions? We're gonna hold for your answer, and we're gonna take a quick break. But if you can stick around, please give us your thoughts on that in just a moment. In the meantime, we are the new Channel Q. Welcome back to the Morning Beat. If you're just now joining us, you're in for a doozy. We've got Jeff Lowe and his wife Lauren on the line from the hit documentary series Tiger King. Before we went to for a little bit of a break, we asked Jeff the question everybody wants to know. Jeff, in your opinion, did Carole Baskin feed her ex-husband to her tigers?
I don't think there's anyone in America that doesn't believe, after watching the documentary and actually knowing what we know that wasn't shown in the documentary. And there's a compelling case coming out this week on Fox that will dig in deeper into more of the evidence against Carole that Netflix didn't or chose not to show, didn't want to show or chose not to show. And when somebody's been proven to have falsified wills and signatures are deemed to be counterfeit by the federal authorities, I just think it's obvious that she did it for the money, and if she didn't do it for the money, why did she try to screw his children out of their share of an inheritance?
Now, I want to go to another question in regards to Carole Baskin. A lot of people may have thought that Joe Exotic wanted to kill Carole Baskin, but you set him up and you were really in charge of this whole murder plot. What do you have to say in regards to that?
I want to know what my motive to kill Carole Baskin is. She had no judgment against me. Joe's the one that had the $1 million judgment against him. She's the one who was going after Joe for everything that he ever put in his name. She had nothing on me. She is, Carole Baskin's a pain in the butt, but she definitely is not a threat to me. I would have much rather embarrassed Carole in a courtroom than to eliminate her because, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to lose what I have to kill somebody who means nothing to me. Joe is the only one with a motive. Joe is the one that filmed all those videos of putting a gun to a head. He was shooting live ammunition inside of his studio. That's how serious this guy was about killing her.
Now, can I just give you an example here? Could there be a plausible plot that maybe if you were able to get rid of Joe by getting him down with Carole Baskin, then he would be out of the picture and you could just have it by yourself?
I had it by myself. The zoo belonged to me.
Yeah,
100%.
we own the zoo.
He was my employee. I could have fired him and kicked him off this property anytime I wanted.
Okay, Jeff, I want to ask you about that then, because you do own the zoo, and there have been, I've been reading a lot of interviews you've been doing, and there are a few accusations you made that I want you to clarify for us, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You made the claim that that Joe Exotic had a couple of protesters killed. They're buried somewhere on the zoo property. Now, you've had ownership of the zoo for a while now. Do you have any proof of that, or is that just an opinion of yours?
It's an opinion of mine, and it was credible enough when the authorities looked into it. It was credible enough for them to ask me for a consent to search authorization, which we gave them. And they brought people from Quantico, Virginia, bone specialists from Quantico, Virginia. They brought OSBI, which is the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations. It's the arm of the FBI of Oklahoma. They brought in our local sheriff, and they went out and they searched the back, 40 to look to see if this was a plausible story. And if it's a plausible story, they were trying to determine how hard it would be to excavate that much land with that many carcasses, because that's where Joe used to take all of the cows and horses and goats and everything that was fed out to the tigers. That's where all the carcasses would be buried, is out back. So they came, they saw, and they did determine that it would cost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to hand sift and excavate this property looking for human remains. But, it's not for me to determine whether it's legitimate or not. We had 4 people come to us from 4 different parts of the county who didn't even know each other, claiming to have heard the same exact story from the same exact mouth, which was Saf, the girl with a half arm. She had a drinking problem apparently, and she would, once she got drunk, she would run her mouth. And she told the same story to 4 people.
Yeah,
that are completely unrelated.
And I know we actually heard it from, believe it or not, Finley's baby mama,
John Finley, who we had on the show last week.
Well, I want to talk to you
we
going
actually heard
back.
from her.
Going back to the cast members, I will say for me, Saf, I know that they prefer their pronouns to be they, them, so I will continue saying they, them. But we'd seen them on the show. We had seen John Finley. We'd seen Alan. Like, are there any people from the cast that you still speak to? And what happened to your previous business partner after Joe Exotic? Are you still in business together, or is that fallen apart?
What
No,
business
okay.
partner?
We see Alan on a daily basis. Alan still works here. Eric Cowie, the guy with the long blonde hair, looks like Chuck Norris. He still works here on our cat crew every day.
Can I just say Alan in the bath scene really quickly was the most iconic. I don't know who made that happen, but him in the bath alone, water down his head. I was like, it's gold. I mean, here we are, Alan. Here is the moment.
So you guys are still in touch. Jeff, I also want to ask you, now you're very open about this in the documentary, you guys taking cubs up into hotel rooms in Vegas and people taking pictures and things like that. I'm sure you've gotten a lot of backlash for that. Did you guys ever get to do that with any celebrities or any famous people? We are in LA. We kind of want to know.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of celebrity friends, and another thing to point out is that's another part of the story that they sensationalized. I have probably the cleanest USDA record of any private zoo in the entire country. I have no violations, despite what Peter will tell anybody. Peter went on and they tried to get Shaquille O'Neal to disassociate just about his friendship with us, telling him that I had a long history of Animal Welfare Act violations, which is a complete, utter lie. I have none. My record is spotless. So I wanted to point out to people, we are licensed by the federal government to move and to transport and to exhibit and to put on display tigers, monkeys, anything. It's legal. It's perfectly legal. And I was pinched in Las Vegas for conducting business without a license because we had a commercial vehicle parked in our home, and
that never moved.
And I was arrested because I missed the court date, not because of what we were doing with cubs or anything to do with it. It was because I missed the court date by accident. We had written down the wrong date, or we actually wrote down the correct date, but we kept telling ourselves it was another date without
even checking.
So that was our bad. I missed court.
All right, so it sounds like they were arrested on a technicality. I can give them maybe a bit of a pass on that one. Welcome back to the Morning Beat. We're joined again by Jeff and Lauren Lowe. This has been a morning. They are spilling all the tea, and we were talking just a moment ago about this Tiger King obviously being made into films, TV shows, who knows what.
Celebrities. Let's talk about it.
Who do you guys want to portray each of you? Shoot for the stars, Lauren. Shoot for the stars.
She likes Isla Fisher.
I like Isla Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that.
That's a good one. Yeah, I get that.
And I said, if Isla Fisher is going to play Lauren, then I want to play Jeff.
Right?
You're a hot mess.
I should have
Jeff.
expected that answer.
I know, that was going to be the answer. Well, listen, this show has gone completely viral. We're looking forward. Now, I do want to talk about very, very quickly. I know that there was a big announcement that there was a new Netflix episode being released. It was. Did you like this episode better than the rest of the Netflix special?
Well, you know what this one will be, and I've not seen it. We were only told the format. It's kind of like, after like Walking Dead does that couch interview with the cast members. That's kind of what this thing will be about. It's more of a catch up. What are we doing now type situation. They didn't get into a lot of real nitty gritty stuff, but I'm interested to see it. I hate watching myself on camera, so it's tough, but I think more compelling and intriguing information will come out of the program that's going to be aired Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time, prime time. That should have more meat for the true Tiger King fan.
So it's going to be difficult for you. If it's difficult for you to watch yourself in this documentary, I don't know how you're going to get prepared to star alongside Isla Fisher in the made-for-TV film, but I think got your work cut out for you.
I think it'll be fine.
You can do it.
Yeah. Well, listen, is there anything else that you want to say in regards to Carole Baskin or Joe Exotic or yourself or the zoo?
This is your moment. Lean into the mic, speak clearly, and let the people know what you want them to know.
Well, you know what? We, Lauren and I are committed to nothing, but this stuff is all fun as a distraction during this coronavirus stuff. But we want people to know that the 160 tigers that Joe walked off and abandoned when he tried to abscond from the law and he went to hide out in Florida, they are all here. They're all in excellent health. They get the best medical care. They get the best food. They get the best care of any animal anywhere on Earth. Joe built this as a speed breeding facility. We are rebuilding it and rebranding it with huge big enclosures for all these guys. We are the owners of the Tiger King brand. We are vigorously defending it. We're sending out cease and desist letters to all these people making counterfeit merchandise. We are going to take what Joe started and we're going to lay that into the foundation of a financial situation to feed these animals for the rest of their lives.
The right way.
And
that's good.
For the people that love animals and for the people, because we have to be honest, there were people that were like, it's not right, and they're all criminals. They're breeding these cubs when they should be allowed in the wild. What do you say to that?
I say that those people are completely ignorant because they don't realize there is no wild. You can't birth an animal in captivity and turn them into the wild because that's a certain death. On top of the fact that you have to have government approval of both countries to, if there was an animal born here, it's a 2-year CITES permit situation to get an animal from the United States into another country. So those people are just, that's the Disney version of what should happen, but it's in reality, it's impossible. You can't do it. And I'll also point out that, if, like I told someone yesterday, if you're out of oil, you pump more oil. If you're out of money, you earn more money. We are out of tigers. This world is diminishing its number of tigers on a daily basis because of the toilet paper and the paneling and
poaching
and the poaching and so it'd be nice if we could help make sure that in 50 years there's still tigers here for somebody to see, and maybe somebody at some point will give a damn and step up and do something about the eating and diminishing the natural environment of these animals, because without doing that, they're certain to die. And we're going to prolong that as long as we can afford to do it and give these guys good life. Sure, they're in cages, but they don't know they're not supposed to be in cages.
Jeff and Lauren, listen, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your honesty and your candor and for clearing some things up. You've given our listeners and Mikalah and I a lot to think about, so we do appreciate that. And look, we may be checking in with you again in the future. It sounds like there's a lot more content coming out.
Thank you guys so much.
Take an acting class, Jeff, if you feel a little bit concerned about that starring role next to Isla Fisher. And we'll talk to you guys soon, all right?
We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications from radio.com. While you're at it, why don't you check out some of our other great videos.